The title of this book is The Envoy of Varlamore. It can be found in the Grand Library of the Arceuus House on Great Kourend on the continent of Zeah. It is involved with the quest, The Depths of Despair. One must have started this quest in order to find this book in the Great Library. Hope you guys enjoy. The Envoy to Varlamore. Although it has been many years since the fighting ended, the war with Varlamore remains fresh in the minds of Kourend's people. The betrayal of Emperor Amaphor is hard to forget, and is likely that this mistrust will continue for numerous lifetimes. In the hope of repairing the relationship with Varlamore, King Kourend III ordered an envoy sent to the Shining Kingdom. However, the envoy is not all that was sent. For over 100 decades, the original Royal Accord of 12 was kept safe within the historical archive of Kourend. The Accord survived the long winter, the age of strife, and the War of the Five Houses, but it did not survive the foolishness of our great King Kourend. Despite the protests of many, the king insisted that the accord be taken with the envoy to Varlamore to be displayed in the Grand Museum of Civitas Illa Fortes. Alas, the accord never made it to Varlamore. It was day 1372 of the 135th decade when they departed. They left by ship from Port Piscalaris for the week-long journey to the Civitas port. Less than halfway into the journey, disaster struck. The ship was traveling off the south coast of Kourend when it was caught up in a great storm. The ship, the crew, and the Accord itself were all lost beneath the waves. The only survivor was the envoy himself, saved by some passing fishermen. Following the loss of the Accord, the king ordered a great search to be conducted in an attempt to recover it. For over 40 years, searches were conducted both above and below the waves in an attempt to find the Accord. Despite the efforts of many, it was never found. Many years later, rulership of Kourend was transferred to the Kourend Council. Not long after the council took over, the search of the Accord was finally called off. Over time, the Accord was mostly forgotten, but there were still some who desired to see it return to Kourend. Many years after the search ended, a new lead was found. Not far from Land's End, a set of caves were discovered which led deep below the sea. Those searching for the Accord theorized that the ship may have sunk beneath the seabed and into the caves below. They assembled a search party and entered the caves. Alas, the search party consisted of historians, not adventurers, and they were poorly equipped to face the perils of those caves. Of those who entered, only 2 returned, and the search for the Accord was once again over. Perhaps it is meant to be this way. Perhaps the Accord was meant to stay lost. However, this may not be the end of the story. All it would need is for an adventurer to enter those caves and reach the bottom, and the Accord may yet return to Kourend. And with that, we've reached the end of this audiobook. It seems to be about how the Accord of 12, the original copy, was initially lost to the Kingdom of Kourend for quite some time, thus prompting our adventurer to find it to complete the quest, The Depths of Despair. This book wasn't very lore heavy, but it did serve a purpose to the quest and did have some history of the Royal Accord. And although the lore isn't particularly discussed, there is some mention of a tension between Kourend and Varlamore. I say it's not heavily discussed because we don't know why they were at war and whatever became of it, or what happened after the attempt to show him the Accord, and any events relating to that from his end. It seems that their conflict somehow dissipated after the Accord was lost. So I'm guessing that there's some missing lore here. I'm very interested to find out what that is, and also more about Varlamore. He seems to live in a section of Zeah that has not yet been discovered by the adventurer, so there's some foreshadowing to future quest lines there. Maybe Varlamore is involved with Dragon Slayer 2, who knows? We're probably going to find out within the year 2018 for sure, though. Oh, I'll see you guys tomorrow with yet another audiobook. Peace.